There we go. We're back recording. There's the cogs. There you go. How weird is that? But there we are. Now then. What's happened here? That rumbling noise in my gearbox was not that, okay? It was one of these bearings there. The retainer. That bearing looks fine in there. And that one, not so fine. Right, and what's happened, where's that shaft that's got red hot? Nearly red hot. What have I done with you? Oh boy. That's all your gears there. Forward gears. Not the state of that. Oh no. Damn. Confound it. I found another problem. Yeah, look. There. See that spring? That holds the ball bearing under this. So I'm going to have to get them out of these ball bearings. I will show you how to do that in part, God knows what I'm at now. Hang on, part 1, I think part 2 is a failure. Part 3 should be okay. Yeah, part 3. This is part 2 or 3. I will figure it out because of the thing. The reverse gear, I can let that go. It's got a few minor. That's alright. I might have a better gear lying around for that. That is about 80-90 quid, I think. That's similar money. Recon gearbox is 600 quid. Decisions though. Can I be bothered to take all that to pieces? Fix it. Put it all back together again. And hopefully it should last the car out. But this is crazy. A bit of water gets in there. There it is. See how that's got hot? It should be like that. Right? All the way down. But it's not. You can see. It should be like that. All the way down. But it's like that. That's not good. Right. So let's see which bearings caused the problem. It's that one. Yeah. It's that bearing there that's caused the problem. So let's have that retaining clip out. If it's going to be good to us. And this bearing, I got you down. Now I want to get you up. There's a little collar on the end of these things. This is where this might do it. So we'll push this down because it's easier. Because this bearing is floating and I don't think it's supposed to do that. Anyway, we get it down, we'll get this behind it in the hole and then we'll flick it back up. Aha, and it worked. There we go. Retaining clip. Right, simple little thing. Put that in there. Now we should be able to put our finger in there and pull out the bearing there, look. Bearing failure. It's not supposed to come out in pieces. And that is probably what's caused that to go. Because this has been, the shaft that fits in here has been doing that. And when it's in first gear, it's just torn it apart. You can see, it's really bad. Boy, ain't life here to try us, eh? There's actually a thingy in there. See, that one is solid. It's not a problem. Which would be running on that end of the shaft. You can see the mark there. It's been running there quite happily. Well, not quite. It's just marked it, but you expect that. Right? And that is completely worn away. Because the bearing is, yeah. Well, I'll put it down as, would you say that's defective? I think it is. Right. So our next job is to go in the house, get on the website, I will have to check to see my parts. I've got some spare parts down here. And a couple of those, couple of those, couple of those. Another first gear. In fact, believe it or not, that first gear there is in better nick than the one that's on there. I took that off because it was knackered. Could always put it back on. But that's the first gear. Should have a lay gear in here. Here we go. There's a lay gear. Even that one's better than the one I got. Look. It's a bit worn. But I could use that. Where's the other one? Oh, the bearings are falling out. So obviously we need new ones of those. Right, what do I need? My brain's gone. Where's the other one? Where's the naked one gone? There it is. See, that one is better nicked than that one. Now they're both the same. Yeah. But as money's short, I could put that one in instead of that one and throw all that away. But we'll see. We'll see if we can buy a new one. Also in here, there we go. That is a pin that goes through the middle there. That one's okay, alright? It's a little bit worn, but it's okay. That one was a new one I put in, and look at the state of that. Nah, that's not good. So it's knackered. That one is. But that one is usable. You know, it's got dirt on it. No, it's pitted there. Oops. Maybe it's not usable, but I'm happy to find another one. These gears are clean, where the ones I've got here gone a little bit rusty, so these are in better nick than that one. Got another set here. Got a reverse gear. I think the one I got is I would say that one's in better nick than that one. Never mind. That's the reverse gear. Let's keep all the other bits together. What else we got in there? 2 spare bearings. That one's okay. Oh yeah, that clip I took off fits in that grab bit there. What did I do with it? There it is. That fits. No, they're not the ones. What did I do with that clip? Oh, it's here. There's a clip that fits in there and stops this bearing going too far. Next one. I've got another lay gear here. which is, this one's worn in a different way. The teeth are worn on this one a little bit sharp, but it's in better nick than that one. You can see it's got a couple of dings out of it, but so far that's the best one. That one not going to be used again. That's what I've got in here. These are the synchro meshes. They're basically brakes. I'll show you that later when I take it apart. Got a back plate, that's the first gear holder thing. That's a bearing. This one's bent, as you can see, right? But that's that bearing in one piece. Okay? And that bearing's collapsed and knackered the shaft up. That one's bent. You see it's twisted. So that's knackered. But I'm glad I found that, because now you can see what the bearing should look like. And when it's in that hole there, right, and you put the retaining thing in there, it doesn't do that. Well, it does a tiny amount, but that's bent, that's knackered. Can't use that. That wouldn't last 5 minutes. Let me see, what else have I got here I can show you? That's that bit. That's, I think that's that bit, right? For a different gearbox, that's why it's got a hole. It's basically that bit. We've got another leg here, I didn't think I had that many. There's that one. That one's got chips out the teeth. That'll crunch, 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 crunch. It'll work, but you get clunk, 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 clunk when you're in first gear, so that's not really usable. We've got loads of bearings in here, spare bearings. They obviously need washing because they're dirty, but they're okay. There's nothing wrong with them. Just that when I've done that one, I put new bearings in as a precaution. That's that gear there, which drives your speedo. And there's some selectors. And what I will do with these, I'll measure the width in there. And that's the wrong one. That one. And I'll measure the width between there and there and there and there. I think these are different types. You can see there's massive difference there. So this is for a BMC box. It's come out of a BMC box. Smooth case box. And those are out of a rough case box. But these are more or less the same. Right, so yeah, the third one. Oh, that's the one that goes clunk clunk. Yeah, that's no good. I remember now. Yeah, that's a few parts. But, oh yeah, I remember the subtle difference between the brakes now. That's that shaft. Alright. Basically, pretty much the same. Alright. That bit comes off of them, alright. Come on, it's not going to be helpful now, is it? Okay, there we go. Right. That fits in, so that's the centre shaft, and that's a bearing that fits on there. I will check the width of that hole there, and the width of this one, because I will be stripping it. That does come off, that's like a bearing for this gear here. See? That's that. Then that goes on there, yeah, and so on. But I've got two of those. They're all pretty much the same. This one has got a bit warm on the end here. You can see the damage? That one's, nah, that's knackered, okay? That shaft. But I kept it, and you've got that gear's knackered as well, like that. All of them come off that way. They don't come off the other way, so you'd have to get a grinder in there and grind all that off. But this one you can see ain't damaged. So I can take all them off and put them on here. Now the first gear goes on there, and that's your brake there. Stops this turning, see? Normally that turns, but it's stuck. But yeah. So, that's that bit. What else we got here? The subtle differences with the BMC. Now BMC box, it's got that on it. Now that is the brake on the BMC box. That's a smooth case box. Right. Now the other one is a little different. I got it in my hand there, where is it? Oh. There we go. That's the third gear. That gear there. Show you what it looks like off. There's ball bearings in the middle of that. They're a nightmare. Okay, you got this. Right. That fits on there like that. And it stops that turning when you change gear. You push it on and it stops it turning. Right. And that one, they sort of go on like this, right? And brake the gearbox, brake, stop this turning so you can put it into gear without it crunching. It's called the synchronization, and that's the bit that does it, right? Now with that one, the other one, I haven't got a sharp gun, all the gears are off it. This actually goes into a groove on the gear that stops it turning that way. There's another first gear here. Huh. Oh, that's not in bad nick either. Here we are. Is it the one? Is it one? Yeah. Here's the first gear for BMC. You see how they fit together like that, and then they brake that way. Alright? When you change gear. One's in there. See the shiny bit? That's a BMC style. That's probably the one gear to show you, but you know, the right one would probably fit in there. It could be second gear, that might not be. But yeah, that's the subtle differences between the BMC and the oh, what do you call it? I call it rough case. That's a smooth case, BMC, I think. That one, and that one's a rough case. So yeah, I've got a smooth case box here. First gear's knackered, but the first gear is different, right? You see, that's a gear off this. That's the first gear for that, right? Which is wore out. This is the gear off this one. You see the difference? Right, but this gear won't put it. It's slightly bigger. This is the first gear that actually goes on there. Right, which actually that piece joins onto that piece there, and then you can turn that cog. But when it's in first gear, that spins. But to stop it, when you put it, pushes a little bit of pressure on it, and then it stops it spinning. You can put it into gear. So that's BMC, so that's no good to us anyway. I will fix that gearbox one day. But this shaft and this shaft is slightly different. Shafts, which I think that might be BMC. Might be. I'd have to assemble it to find out, but I know this one's rough case because that's knackered and I threw it away. Right, so there's the centre gears. Right, now with this gearbox, I have a shot first gear. That's right, these gears, last one I bought was £85, which is probably that one there. So, they fit in there, like so. And that one's not in bad nick. But, it's the same size cog there anyway. No difference. You can see the cogs together. Yeah. That one's not brilliant. But anyway, we won't mix them up yet. We'll keep them apart. Yeah. So we don't need that one. That's a stripped down one of them. Exactly the same. I might measure that hole as well and see if that's okay. They do wear these things. When you think of it there, that looks like she's got a bit of a mark there. It's not quite round. But we'll look into that later date. Get that out of the way and leave the gearbox parts here. Now then, that is definitely going to be the shaft I use. And that one, the way I can do with that, might come in handy for something one day. But anyway, ladies and gents, that's it. It is 3:23 in August 2021. So that gearbox held together till then. And I think a lot of the trouble was that bearing failing and then first gear rattling around on that. Yeah, it is destroyed. The plastic ball bearings come from there. Oh, they're a nightmare. I think one of my aeroplane bearings is the same size bearing that fits on there. I can't remember what. Which is I think it's this bearing. Right. The ball bearings in there, I think, are the same size in there. Our biggest headache is the springs knackered, so that's another problem. So, hello Roxy, and that's my little girl come to the door. There she is. You go girl. Yeah. So that's it, I'm afraid, for now. So I'll call it quits on this, and we'll get back to it. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. Oh, there's your old bits. There's some spare parts. Knackered bits. A bit of a close-up of that gear because it is well worn. Hope I haven't rubbed it on too much. And I hope something here will be of use to you. I was talking about this bit earlier. What they do, they machine that out a bit and put a a rubber seal in there, which is great, because these leak. These are just sides of boxes. We don't need those. They go down here with this little harness. And yeah, so we need to get this sorted. So we'll leave all this alone. And I'll show you what you have to do. Sorry, my fingers. Show you what you have to do when you sort that out. I'm going to go and order some parts now. So I'll talk to you soon. And sorry about the other videos stopping a bit quick. Problems with the camera and me. So bye bye. Okay, bye bye. Now the camera don't want to switch off. Okay, why isn't the camera switching off? Okay, come on. That's weird. Screen locked. How do I unlock the screen? Padlock. Screen locked. Unlocked. Shut down. No. Let's lock it on that padlock. Oh, technology today. How do I unlock it? Unlocked. So now we should be able to say bye.